What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and one of the people who gets targeted by the woke mob more than maybe anyone else is Joe Rogan. It didn't matter if he was on YouTube or now that he's over on Spotify. It seems like all the time these people are coming after him. A dude who has pretty centrist opinions, a dude who holds some conservative beliefs, but also a lot of liberal ones, is seemingly always under attack by these people, and he is speaking out today about why you shouldn't bend the knee to the woke mob and what can eventually happen if you do. Now, Joe Rogan, I'm going to talk about a little bit during this video. I've had some problems with some things and some decisions that he's done regarding his freedom of expression, his free speech, when he decided to move over to Spotify, because he told everyone he was going to have the freedom to do what he wanted, but that wasn't really 100% true. We see that Spotify has slowly been taking down several, quote, more controversial episodes, even though we were told that that wouldn't happen. However, that doesn't mean that Joe Rogan doesn't still have important things to say and isn't still talking to important people and having important discussions that a lot of other people with his profile simply aren't having. You can see this article from Outkick. Shout out to Outkick. I use them a lot, obviously, for sports coverage, but this time it's more of a generic cultural video that I'm talking about. This is from Bobby Burak. Joe Rogan, giving in to the woke mob will result in straight white men not being allowed to talk. And that is eventually where we will get to, where straight white men will not have a voice, will not be able to determine anything because they're just too privileged. You have to listen to everyone else. And Joe Rogan got into this the other day on his podcast. For Joe Rogan, there are 25 gutless, pathetic media members behind a mic, but at least he's one voice bucking the trend. The country in general has given in and signed away its manhood to woke losers for years, each time giving away a little more. And again, I think that you do have to, when you talk about Joe Rogan and you talk about these things, I do think that Joe bent the knee a little when he went to Spotify. Now, is it worth it to have 99.9% of your podcasts up there when they're giving you over $100 million? Probably. And if I was put in that position, I would like to say that I would, deny it and, keep all my things up there. But it's tough to know when $100 million gets slapped in front of you. Either way, he's still having important conversations. There are lots of problems with this dynamic. And my concern has long been, how does it end? Where does this lead to? Where will those who most desperately seek power turn next now they've gotten their way for so long? During an interview with Joe List, Rogan predicted the ending in one of his best rants since moving to Spotify. And I want to listen to this entire thing. Joe Rogan on woke culture. Here we go.
You can never be woke enough. That's the problem. It keeps going. It keeps going further and further and further down the line. And if you get to the point where you capitulate, where you agree to all these demands, it'll eventually get to straight white men are not allowed to talk.
Right.
He is right. That is the path that we are going. When you look at critical race theory, when you look at all these different things that are happening in entertainment, in the media, everywhere, he is right. That is where we're headed. And he said in the beginning, you can never be woke enough. Once you bend the knee, you will forever be on your knees. Once they know that enough pressure can make you apologize, make you give up your voice, make you do these things, then they know they can always go after you.
Right.
Because it's your privilege to express yourself when other people of color have been silenced throughout history. It will be, you're not allowed to go outside because so many people were imprisoned for so many years. I mean, I'm not joking.
No, I know.
It really will get there. It's that crazy. You know, we just got to be nice to each other, man. And there's a lot of people that are taking advantage of this weirdness in our culture, and then that becomes their thing. Their thing is calling people out for their privilege, calling people out for their position. It's fucking crazy times.
Yeah.
It's literally a business at this point. There are people, we talked about the founder of BLM, buying 4 houses at this point because, this type of divisiveness, this type of thing, calling people out, this woke culture, it has become profitable for some people to do that. It is now a business and they want to continue that business. Now, Joe Rogan is getting some blowback for this by, again, the same woke losers, the woke lunatics that he is talking about. Joe Rogan, for me, I always used to look at him, several years ago, and I wonder why he would get this backlash. Yeah, he is a straight white male, but at the same time, He has a lot of liberal viewpoints, right? He falls on the very socially liberal side of things. I would consider him probably more libertarian, I guess. He's kind of just in the mix. He's in the center. That is what he is. He is in the center. He himself, I don't think he holds very many controversial thoughts, very many controversial opinions. But it's who he talks to that's the real problem for a lot of people. It is the fact that he will talk to anybody. He will bring on a socialist, and he will bring on somebody on the complete opposite side of the spectrum. He will talk to anyone, and there are some people that don't want to allow that, because there are some people out there who they don't want any opposing viewpoint to be heard or seen or spoken of, because they know they might not have an answer to that. So instead of discrediting the actual argument, they try to discredit the person. They don't want that person heard or seen of. They want them canceled. They want them buried in the algorithm. They want them deplatformed because they're so scared of what they have to say. That is where Joe Rogan becomes a threat, I think. And I think that's one of the reasons that it's, that you have to talk about the fact that Spotify is deleting controversial Joe Rogan Experience episodes. That's one of the reasons that people tune into him, is because he is willing to talk to anyone. And when you take that away, when all of a sudden you got 40, 50 episodes that are being deleted that you said would move over, that you said you would have the freedom to talk to all these people, when those suddenly start getting quietly taken down and hidden and pigeonholed, that's a problem, because that's the reason a lot of people respected Joe Rogan. Again, $100 million is a lot. He still has these guests on. He had Alex Jones on while he was on Spotify. But you can't talk about all the things Joe Rogan's talking about giving into the woke mob without mentioning this. I still think he's having important conversations. I still think that, what he's doing is a good thing. And I think that his words are 100% spot on. But you have to also talk about the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that Spotify has been censoring him. And he went over there, I think with the knowledge that would happen. At the end of the day, he's still getting his voice out there. People are still able to hear him and a lot of his different guests. But what do you think about his words, his comments, that if you give in to this woke culture, eventually it would lead to a point where straight white men are too privileged to even speak, too privileged to even go outside in some ways. Like he said, if you really take this out to the nth degree. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.